your screen, please.
Perfect.
I'm going to record right now. We'll start in next 7 minutes. Hi, Sagar. Let's start.
Thank you, Afia. Good evening, and thank you for joining the session. Welcome all in the session where me will take you through product leadership and how to unlock the potential with the great learning that I have gone through and would like to share a few cents that I've jogged out for today's segment. Uh, I'll introduce myself with the agenda discussion. I hope that I'm audible and the screen is visible to all.
Yes, Sagar.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you so much for confirmation. So hi, I'm Sagar Zilpe. I am governance, compliance, and risk product delivery lead for one of the federal agency, and I carry 11 years of learning experience, more into product development, project management, system evaluations, and it compels of entire product life cycle and project life cycle both. I've been honored with 45 certifications, and I have worked with Cisco, Dow and Corp, EXL, Fortune 500 clients, and Origin, and been working as consultant to multiple organizations separately. And there are multiple contracts and consultations that I always go through. With that, I've also uh, recently been awarded with the student for Jigsaw IIM Indore product management certification, and yeah, glad to say that I've completed the BYOP. At the top right hand corner you can see the logo, that is work now. This is the trademark. This is the product that I had picked up for my certification. I started the product design journey when the certificate course started, as and when the certification modules learnings progressed. I matured my product accordingly. By the end of the session, that is the product management session, my product work now is launched, and it's also deployed to one of the clients. That's about me. I'll take a quick pause to see if there are any questions from any participants. If not, then at the end we have parked up a few minutes for discussion, comments, and question queries. I take that as no. Yeah. Okay, perfect. We'll move to the next segment. That what are we looking forward in this session? What is the agenda being driven? While you will see there are 5 different segments that we will walk through, why we have led this 5 pointers, or why are we discussing even this? So leadership is an essential skill for any aspiring product manager wanting to take their career to the next level. But what does it take to be an effective leader? In this session, we will explore the qualities and strategies necessary to unlock your leadership potential and become a successful product manager. A great product manager is the one who clear and deep understanding of their company goals, their product goals, the deployment purpose. And we have to work to ensure that the strategies that we develop are in alignment with the organizational and the strategic priorities, financial priorities, or if you're trying to solve any market problem, then it's meeting that individual need, organizational need, or social need. Product leadership requires more than just the technical skills. It can be the studies, marketing, your product enhancement. It demands for a flair, creative problem solving attitude and ability to remain focused on the ultimate goal. Whatever it may be, product leadership is one of the 3 types of leadership that every company needs in order to stay in a competitive market. Product leaders should be continuously looking for opportunities to innovate and create unique products that will set their company apart from the competition, while still meeting the overall objective of the organization, or it can be your annual budgets, targets, or any goal if that's social, etc. A successful product leadership requires dedication and creativity. This all global Nyan, I'll say, that we are discussing, it's very mandate, it's required. And how to achieve that, how to lay it off. May you be a seasoned professional, may you be an experienced professional, at times we are so much engrossed in our day-to-day business as usual activities. There needs an extrospection of our activities. We need a judgment, we need a critic. And with this angle, I was more than happy to get enrolled for this course. I keep learning and sharing. So do my peers as well, my leaders as well, and my role models as well. They keep learning every single bit and pieces. Technology is evolving every day. So any knowledge that we carry can be enhanced each and every day is what I can say. Successful product leadership requires dedication and creativity, and I guess learning is one of the dedication that one has to show in today's moving world, changing world. And we must be able to read our own team's strength and weaknesses as a product manager. In short, how do we read them out? How do we learn them? And how do we work out on some of the weaknesses? How can we balance out the positivity over enthusiasm of the team is something that we can discuss in today's session. All of this combined together, a successful product leader who can make an informed decision about where their product should go next. How to take this product to the next level, that is all about the certifications, courses, and different learning modes. Out of those modes and learnings, the 5 great aspects that I thought should be shared with you is what we're going to discuss in today's session. I see a question in the chat with the agenda discussion, how to start job in product management without MBA. That's a nice question. So if you have a subject matter expertise, taking an example, technology and computers goes hand in hand. If you know or aware about the development ethics, development roles, you have to take gradual steps. I would recommend to take the sprint and agile way. Once you have a know-how of what are the different aspects of product, you go through certain trainings, you go to certain live emulations. That will help you to identify where as a part component of a product development you can really lead into in terms of job profile, or if as a product owner you want to launch a new product altogether, then certification courses like PGCP will definitely be a real answer. Even I think that it have helped me to shape my aspects. And I really loved the critic from my mentors. I always used to enjoy. I told them very upfrontly that I'm a product guy, I'm a program guy, and I want to shape up my product visions. So I would love you scolding me. I would love you questioning me and my products, despite of 11 or 12 years of experience whatsoever, being the founder for more than 3 organizations now. And I've learned, and that is the way I see movement from product to program to project and to product can happen seamlessly, and same can go with you as well. Sorry, are you not able to see the screen? I see that some participants have mentioned that only voice is audible, but the screen is not visible.
We are able to see your screen, Sagar. Guys, whoever is facing the trouble, please refresh and rejoin. That should solve the issue.
Yeah, surely. We have couple questions. Is it okay if we take it at the end so that we'll complete the discussion? Abhishek, if you don't mind, and we will further also answer them. So let's move to the first aspect. Why product management, and why should we really be focusing on it, and why it's a need today? Investing in a strong collaborative relationship with Jigsaw and IIM stakeholders, I felt was very essential, is very essential. It's not that my relationship with the alumni have ended in this 6 months. No, after that we have exchanged a lot of conversations, and Jigsaw team, IIM team, they are in constantly touch with us. Though I'm not the guy for the placement, but definitely I would love to if I get good remunerations. But we keep exchanging the ideas. Like you know, we are meeting in IIM Indore in person, and there we've lined up a couple of connects with the companies, corporate companies. The mentors have been very helpful. We have been in a relationship now, the course relationship, where we are exchanging contacts of an organization. We're talking about how different organizations are deploying the products. What are my key challenges? How are they answered by different other organizations when they are doing similar activity? And to this is the understanding of what we say is deploying latest technologies, how the trends are evolving the market, how and what approach is being taken by the big four MNCs, because they shape up the deployment world. If you are a co-founder, if you are a founder, if you are a product leader, or if you are a great product enthusiast, a role which is at an influencer level in your organization, definitely this is the knowledge that you should carry. What is your product related demand shift? Where do you see a big picture of your product? How will it impact your organization? How will it impact the customers? How will it improve the landscape of your customers and your organization as well? So these are the a big vision, I'll say a large vision that you should carry when you're thinking about a product. The role definitely will be different. You can be a product owner uh, at an eyesight. You can be a product contributor at an eyesight. And depending what environment are you leading, are you leading in a collaborative environment? Are you leading into a democratic environment, or it's like a great corporate culture these days that there is no dictatorship, there is always a participation, there is always a democratism. Like, I am in the session, but I will only be presenting the session. There will be question and answer that will phrase out the layout and the discussion. It will impact. It won't be a monotonous. And I would love if you have any dialogues even, then we can go through them as well. And definitely there will be different backgrounds that you might be coming through. Some might be from commerce, some might be from engineering, some might be from management, or some might be from core development, or even non-technological. Like in our batch, there were people who are from medical field, doctors, pharmacists, I'll say industrialists, and then corporates, working corporates, freshers, people like me, or people more tenured than me with 20-25 plus years of experience, doctorates from non-medicinal field, who have came up with their own product, an exciting product which will work as a mouth opener and give the pills to the patient who have the jaw relaxation movement problem. A candidate from that level till the candidate till a participant of that level, where we have a technological product which will deploy robots, humans, and every single analytical tool in one platform. So it was a mix of uh, coagulation, and we had multiple mentors who were scrutinizing our profile according to their expertise. Like, commerce background had their own commerce set of comfortable mentors. Engineering had their own set of mentors. Pharma and medicinal fields have their own set of mentors. And the beauty where I saw in this engagement was we were getting the mentors who will guide us. Separately, the evaluators were different, who were cross verifying the deployment strategies, the knowledge, the propositions that we are meaning and minting. Are we going aligned together? Like, taking a second and third opinion is what I see. That's what created a value, and where I saw a third angle, what benefits I'm delivering to my customer via my product. What are the technological perspectives which are there in market, which I'm not explored to, but my mentors or evaluators were, or my batchmates were, and in the session we discussed that all out. And there is always a new learning, there is always a networking, and there is always a great side of topology that we can use with the sessions. Yeah, with this we'll get into the core topic. What it takes being a modern leader. What does it take? People skills, product knowledge, a real understanding of the latest technologies. One need to know the trend. One should be aware of the approaches in the industry that we are willing to deploy the product. After all, how are you supposed to lead a product if you don't understand it yourself? You need to have the idea of the product. Product leadership demands seeing the big picture and staying ahead of the game. Taking an educated approach to developing products is what sets apart a successful team from a regular team. Anyone can create the product, but taking a sophisticated approach, like in this course, we got 5 I framework. It was a great eyesight for me, a great deployment strategy for me. And irrespective whether your product is, like I said, technologically driven or physically driven, like a wooden artifact, a gift article, or a tree plantation in the balcony, can be a product. Can we deploy the same template? Yes. Does it need fine tuning? Yes, it will need fine tuning separately. Who will help me? Then mentors, evaluators will be there always. And the best thing is the batchmates will be there. And what all things we learn is not only the course, not only the content I see here. I see a great prospect. Like we have Irshad on this call. Now I saw and learned how Irshad was able to manage queries from 105 people. Like some of us were based out in UK, some of us based out in Singapore, US, geographies, different geographies, who attended this course. How patiently he was able to answer them all, respond them all. And we were able to answer some of the questions by ourselves within our group. But an example how a person can be tolerant, understanding at the start of the course when we were not aware with each other, was a great example. And I really appreciate him, a single person responding to 105 intellectual queries always, was a great fun. It was a great learning. And getting the feedback process and questions and queries answered was very seamless with the entire of the team, I'll say. And that made the learning a great fun and enjoyment. Yeah, but coming back to the point, so always remember that great leadership starts with the product features. What is technical feasibility? What is social feasibility? And is it worth investing the funds, the time, the resources? Either it may be your entire of the kitty, if you are a founder, co-founder, or a sponsor, or if you are an employee, is it worth investing from the company's side? You have to get the homework done and definitely then lead to a product development. What all levers do you need it? If you have the practical knowledge, well and good. You can streamline it with the structure of 5i framework. If not, then definitely you will get to learn the basics, how to design each and every element, how to understand the element, which element may be useful for you. And then there will be always the side course and questions and evaluators and mentors who will be able to help you always. But remember, a great product manager is always a one who has a clear and deep understanding of their company goals. You should be able to understand what goal yourself, your company, and your work team is ensuring. What strategies you develop should be in complete alignment with these goals. Product leadership requires more than just the technical skills. It demands a flair for creative problem solving and an ability to remain focused on ultimate goal. Whatever it may be, product leadership is all about it. Understanding people, understanding market, and deploying it to the best of the product needs. Now, leveraging the technical expertise. When we say technical, it's not just the core technical part of like not Java or Linux, not that. But yeah, if you are driving, let's say, a pharma product, what is needed to manufacture the product? What is needed to deploy? How your go-to-market strategy should be? A product manager should be able to own a project end to end, not just the code, not just the architecture design, not just the manufacturing, not just the marketing, or not just the creation of a product. That I have an idea of a product and I just want to get it done. It's not about it. It's all about 0 to 100, getting to know the aspect. There might be different teams who will deliver it separately, but yes, you need to understand how to measure each and every impact. What if a stage of a monitoring doesn't work? What if the project operations halt? Or what if the product development itself halts? If you have the seniors, understanding your manager's perspective and other stakeholders, how to keep them informed. Second, very most important, where I think the technical expertise can be implemented or thought through, pushing improvements from lower layer to upper layer. If you are working on a product which is a consumer product, a soap or a cold drink, sort of a food product, what your customers think, till the marketing team, till your leadership team, you should build a reverse down or up down approach, the way market would respond towards. And you should be able to use the engineers, the resources, the tools, the softwares, or at least you should have the basic knowledge how to operate interoperability. That is the technical expertise. Now on the screen, you might be seeing a study which is done by one of the US Fortune 500 organization. Whenever you are getting into a new product development, creating a new aura, there are multiple approaches. And there was a study to see that how the upskilling of approaches work for different individual. The highest rating was given to mentoring and apprenticeship, where people have learned how to become a product manager. People have, you can say, learned either way, or they have really from product to project movement, or from project to product manager's movement, or a product manager role, or a technical project manager role. How have they promoted oneself? That is how mentoring or apprenticeship came into picture. This is the result of the survey. Mentoring was the key area. Like, I was project manager, but because of mentoring, because of the apprenticeship that I get in my organization or my contract, I was able to promote myself from project to product manager. How many approaches were taken, or how do you get migrated from your current profile to product manager profile? Is one of it is structural approach. If you have different experts in your team, in your organization, you gather them all together, you do a brainstorming session sort of, and you get to know that how many different set of resources. Some might be Amazon expert, AWS expert, maybe. Some might be a software expert, some might be a physical product marketing expert, sort of, just to take an example. When you get them all together and brainstorm and suggest that what is a problem statement, what are you trying to solve for, and what are you trying to create out of it, whatever is the outcome, that is your product, and that is the first step towards your product management role. Now, in order to do that, you need multiple knowledge streams to be involved. A marketing stream, a development stream, it can be a deployment stream, it can be the stabilization, it can be quality, you name it, and you will have different departments basis the product that you're using. If you have a physical product, then manufacturing and assembly line is the greatest value driven assembly or iteration that you would want to think of. Because if you have a product which is physical product and you need to manufacture it, if you improve the product time and again, which we'll discuss in further slides, every improvement will reduce the cost and improve the quality of your product. So every improvement will be a money that is saved, a cost that is saved, and revenue that is improved. That's how the knowledge management will play the role. Now, in order to do this, there will be certain set of information, standard operating procedures. Depending on what the product is, there will be some compliances. If it's a technical product, then there will be special access libraries, depending on what it is. Managing entire of this non-production addendum is part of the content management approaches. Your community, where you work or where you learn, this is the basic forum where you can network and solve the issues on your own basis the brainstorming. Mentors and evaluators facilitate the same mode and modus in PGCP when it comes to the certification course that we are discussing about. Most notably, what happens is leaders from the same expertise field, same area, they have a very great insight, because we are talking about the evaluators, mentors from IIM. I got 3 different evaluators, luckily, instead of 2, and the average experience that they carried was more than 40 years of experience. I saw great benefit and insight, because they came from the age when I started my career. They were at their own peak, and there were multiple organizations like Accenture, Philips, etc., to name it. And we were able to discuss the best practices and deployment, what advancement that my product should have compared to existing market products in the same field was the discussion topics. It was not just the curriculum activities that we did. This is how we were able to leverage our technical expertise from the mentors, evaluators. Even me were able to, like, I know more about Arduino. So in our session, we had multiple IoT segments. I was able to add value to the topic when it was being discussed in the classes. And yes, I was able to share my products, which were not relevant to the people who had a pharmacy product. But all that, we were able to exchange the ideas, information to be prepared for the next set of phase or information if we want to deploy a product in different range. So with that, the next and important thing where we thought was we wanted to improve ourselves was empowering the communication. We are subject matter experts. More of us think that everyone thinks that I'm a commerce expert, I'm an engineering guy, I'm a coding guy, I'm a management guy. No one thinks that I'm a communication specialist. But in product role, we have to think one. All product managers have their own leadership style, but most require similar traits to succeed. The success traits are similar. Generally speaking, the strong managers know how to solve the problem and explain the company's goal to employees or to the team members. They charge every employee with making them happen how the goal should be achieved, basis their role profile, basis their influence area. Becoming a supervisor also requires a superior decision-making skills, and you will need to refer, you will need to solve the disputes as well, disconnects as well. When you are a product manager or product creator rather, you need to document each and every aspect. The way you forecast or estimate the product in your mind, it is practically not possible to document everything out. When the product gets created or is in the creation phase, there are a lot of brainstorming sessions that happen, navigations and estimations that happen. How to put it in a structured way, that is all about the 5i framework that we always get to know in the product and this particular certification course that we have leveraged. We have different modes and models which are also discussed. There are multiple strategies, may it be pricing strategy, may it be deployment strategy, which are also understood and part of some of the Harvard studies which we referred to. And I felt that that is of great importance and value, so that we can see where the like product can be deployed. So like this statement is, a product leadership is more than just creating great products. It's also about having the skills which are necessary to successfully communicate the goals across the team. If you want to be a powerful, do you want to be a powerful advocate for things you believe in when you are designing this product? If yes, is what you say, then communicate effectively. Let others know what are you wanting to create. If you do this, you are more than halfway done. So 80% is achieved, 20% is what you need to work upon then. So with better communication, a powerful communication is also about advocating your ideas, the causes you believe in, or your organization believes in, and you yourself believe in. If you want to be a powerful advocate for the things you believe in, then your communication skill needs to need your time and attention. You will be more powerful, and your organizations will be stronger when you empower yourself through clear and powerful communication skills. You have to resolve the conflict. You have to explain uh, your stakeholders. It can be external and internal stakeholders, what credibility the product is getting on the board, how well you balance senior management if you are in an employee role, and also your team members if you are in the sponsors role, how well you manage the customers or the customer success ratio. It plays a vital role where effective communication skills are very important and crucial. Becoming a supervisor requires learning skill, and you need to have the people approach. You need to have good ears for good communication. So if you are able to communicate well, you will get good information, and also you will transmit good information. If you do this, you will have good connect. You will have good connect with your customer. You will have good connect with your peers, your internal and external stakeholders, maybe your publisher, maybe your broker, maybe your distributors, your channel partners, entire of channel. If you are into the employment mode, that means approvals from the sponsors will be there if you have a great level of communication. If we are passing on information, if we are having good connect, and if we are getting good approvals, then results is something that we should expect because of the effective communication. I won't talk on all these benefits of effective communication because we all know it. We all know it. It just highlighted so that you can read through them. But yeah, these are all the high level benefits that we see, even if you are in a founder shoe, if you are in a co-founder, or if you are in an employee shoe. What if you are at a very beginning level, initial level? Yes, even then, this will be effective and helpful to you. Now, once you're able to think of a great communication, once you work out on that, developing the strategic thinking is needed. When do you think the last time when you participated in a strategic planning meet for your organization? Doesn't matter if you are at an employee role or a founder role, and you were likely to present with a challenge, and you were solving that challenge or goal to achieve solution on that challenge. When was the last time? Take a step back and think. If you were able to contribute, do you remember your contribution during that meeting? Did you offer compelling ideas? Were you able to plot a course of action, or find it difficult to think strategically and develop a solution? Did you had a good idea but struggle to communicate it in a better way or a logical way? You were aware but you were not able to justify it. Were you an active participant in the conversation, or just listener to others? Now this is an example. And now strategic thinking skills are among the most highly sought after management competencies. After management, strategic thinking is the highest thought through skill set today. Earlier it may not have been, but now it's a documented, it's a required, it's must. Why? Because employees capable of thinking critically, logically, and strategically can have a tremendous impact on business trajectory. You see the goal trajectories being made out. Even government is using that. May it be an IRDA, may it be your PMO office, may it be a federal agency. Everyone have their business trajectory. You may name it a roadmap, you may name it a projection, you may name it a quarterly forecast. There are different terminologies, doesn't matter. But if you want to improve your strategic thinking skills, the good news is that with the right mindset and practice, you can. How to enable it with different resource? Yes, this is what we will discuss. A great product leadership requires a perspective and approach that transcends the everyday, so that right decisions can be made for a product. It's not enough just to measure a leader on their ability to get things done. Product leaders need to think strategically and holistically in order to make sure their products are headed in the right direction. In short, great product leaders know when and how to think big, when and where to make the decisions. If you're looking to learn how to be a good leader in the product management, strategic thinking, you have to learn to focus on the concept, focus on the questions, focus on the available resources. If not you, how you can brainstorm with the available set of resources. Identify the unique opportunities for growth, which will be answer from your marketing questions which are given from a different set of customer experience team, customer success teams, which are all essential elements for being a successful leader. A great product leader knows what direction to set the team and how best to carry it out. Successful product leadership is not just about managing the present, but being ready to tackle the future. What if you are driving a software and now you know that there are bots which are able to do that? Now we have deployed more than 2000 bots. Doesn't mean that we have killed 2000 jobs. No, not at all. We have created multiple consultants, people who are best at strategic thinking, who were able to think through that how a certain process can be automated. What is the best way to find an answer to a challenge? Like during Diwali's New Year or any leave, there was no workforce. If you are a customer and if you want to hail a cab at Diwali or Christmas evening or Dashera, it is very difficult. What if you have an automated taxi which is taking care of that particular moment in time? As simple example as this may not have been implemented, but this is a food for future. This is where your mentors come into picture. You create a thought process, you brainstorm it with your peers, you brainstorm it with the group, and then mentors do a cross questioning of this set and consider strategic questionnaire for you. What are you wanting to deploy the product for? When is it and why is it? This question will cultivate a strategic mindset in you. Considering the critics or opposing ideas really enhances your existing products. It won't ever decrease the quality, but I see that increase in quality of a product is always a gain and part benefit. So there are multiple strategic thinking skills, particularly if they are projected to take weeks, months, or even years to achieve. Strategic thinking skills like analytical skills, your communication skills, problem solving skills, or planning and management skills. This all are thought through and part of a strategic mindset that you need to embrace, and via course you will get to learn more of it, most of it. Now, keeping in mind that resources are not only the people, resources are also technology tools that will enable us to execute the task, budget required to fund a project, or location and specialized equipment. Resource management helps organization to optimize people, providing insights into their workloads, their availability, projected time, requirements, skills, much more. Now, when you are planning to effectively use the resources, how will you do that? Irrespective if you are getting into the coaching mode or not, you need to plan, and to deploy that plan you should have effective management of deployment of certain plans and categories. You should be aware that how planning should be done. Time is money, and it is best to plan for effective resource management from very beginning of the project. When starting a project, planning should be first, and it should be via planning that you will be able to fully gauge the type and amount of resources you will be requiring. Like I said, resources can be technical, people, artifacts, approvals. It can be anything that tags in the resource. After figuring out what you will need, you can then plan their use by dividing the project into multiple stages. 5I framework will help you to identify how the project stages can be chalked down for your specific product. It can be any product, like we discussed earlier. Identifying these resources needed for completion of the project and adding them to the list at the right stage and right level. Analyzing them and putting an estimate, going through the outline of the entire project and ensuring that no resource is left out, and finalizing the list of resources before the project is officially getting initiated is something that is in the planning to planning phase. Now, once you have planned, there should be a systematic approach. Setting a baseline, benchmarking your performance, forming an action strategy, fixing the target and responsibilities, observing and reporting, setting up reports, procedures, reviewing the actions and performance. This is where the systematic approach comes into place. And then learning and using the technology where it's needed for your specific product. Using a technology which is software, hardware, wherever there is less wastage, there is more effectivity. That is the way that you will adopt to. You will have to identify multiple ways. Out of those multiple ways, select the best one with your mentors and evaluators, which one will be the best way to create your product, deploy the product, or partner the product, either one. And also using a balance between the technology and best business resource management. Using the mentor validation where possible is the best key. So in my case, what we used to do was our product was fully developed in the initial phase for proof of concept, POC, for one of the Fortune 500 client in Dubai. It was $500,000 worth business. At the start of this project, I was able to present our product concept to the evaluator. Before evaluator, there was a mentor who reached out to me. We were able to discuss a lot of things, and I was surprised to see I made 60% of changes to my 100% of developed product, which I was not expecting. After discussion, it was making sense. And further, evaluator made some 10 to 15% of changes. This was happening after the scrutiny, different various level of scrutiny. And this is where I see mentor validation, wherever possible, influences the use of technology and also decision-making capability. The last and very important segment is championing your product leadership. When you have gone through the entire planning phase, designing phase, communication, people map, strategy, designations, resources, their validation, and planning and effectivity. Now you are into development mode, you know Figma, you know other tools in which you are leveraging. What it comes to is what, as a product leader, your responsibility is. It's someone who not only knows their stuff, but also has knowledge and foresight to take advantage of all the resources which is out there in the market, out there in your organization. That could mean leveraging customer feedback, deep diving into the usage data or the purchase data, or it can be any data that you can think about in a sense. We all know the definition of leadership. That's nothing new. But product leadership goes one step further. Product leadership understands that in order to remain successful and competitive, we must stay up to date on the latest industry trends that our product is in, through tools, through market research, or any other way that is best available to you. Moreover, product leadership is a must for any successful product manager. Even if you are not planning for a product management career, it's good to have a knowledge that how product management works, how a product owner works, and utilizing these resources, how critical it is in each project or program level as well. Maybe your role from an HR, delivery, or a support perspective. Product leadership is very tricky, but it's a necessary part of a successful product management. It's not just about having a clear vision for your product. You also need to have a good set of understanding of your product, like we discussed it earlier. Build and mentor the right team at the start if it's a great product. If it's a single one-man army, think through all the resources. Think yourself in a different post and positions. Take up your responsibility actively as an integrated team. Develop process and practice that improve your team. It is must. It's needed in addition to building a team, or if you're working standalone, product management professional or product leaders or relevant people from your field or your classroom sessions or your network, the team will work together effectively. At least you will get some great ideas. Create a culture of collaboration among all team members if that's a different team. Mostly in today's age, even if that's a small little product, there is a team of 4 or 5. If it's a large organization, like I'm working for federal agencies where we have a team of 200 or 300 plus members, we need to drive the culture of right collaboration and approach, where you're using Jiras, you're using Confluences, you're using different multiple sales forces, etc., etc. Using these tools in a right set and behavior and pattern helps to drive a very simplistic and sophisticated product methodology. Promoting a culture of customer centricity is must. There is no other option to it. It doesn't matter how well designed and efficiently engineered your product is. If customer don't love it, scrap it, throw it. Therefore, product leaders work tirelessly to keep customers at the core of product, which may be Apple, may be any company, you name it. Customer surveys and customer feedback is something at the top of everything. Consistent experiment is a key. You have to experiment every now and then, even if your product is created, and it should be modified. It should be upskilled. It should be greater than what it was yesterday. And with this, the summary of entire session needs also to be carried. You need to have a great communication. You need to be good listener. You need to have a fast tracking progress. You cannot, as a product owner, you just cannot sit at relax because there is no one to question you. No, your product will be off track then. Product leadership requires unique skill sets. It doesn't mean that everyone should be an engineer, everyone should be a financial expert. No, not at all. But at least you should have the domain expertise. You should know the GSTs. You should know the implications of the finance and criticalities and product leadership. So this is the session all about, and we are at the end of the session and would open the room for Q&As. The question that was unanswered, I'm coming from commerce background. I've done MBA in finance. How will I go into product? Now, there are multiple. You sitting in front of me or I sitting in front of you, assume a recruiter. For a recruiter, a candidate is a product. For me, if I'm approaching a client, he or she is my product. It's just the attitude that we carry. If you're coming from a commerce background, you can be a product creator. You can think of a product which are from F&A background. It can be a software, it can be a tool, it can be a solution, it can be consulting service. It can be anything that you have passion about can be created or developed into a product. Packaging that product either in service format or solution format or a software format, that depends on the way you take it, and you will be get into the product owner and product designer also. Hope that answers. And if you want, you can unmute yourself and ask the questions if there is any query. I would love to answer. Oh, sorry. Oh, it's in the chat. Sorry, I missed the chats. I think my question. Hi, Abhishek. Yeah. So your question is, let me ask again, how we can change the product without losing business. Now, if we are talking about the software product, definitely you will create a replica of that product. You will have a pre-production run. You will have the segmentation. When you're making a change in the product, obviously that you might be doing it for a good reason. And with that reason, you will formulate the testing. Once the testing and UATs and different other critics of the line of business are completed, then is when you need to plan for the release or an upgrade. And that should be a planned upgrade with a soft pause. If that's a physical product, then definitely change in product can be made with different brands, versions of the product, and also it may impact the pricing that you need to formulate and market firsthand before the change product is launched with a launch or a go-to-market strategy planning. There is another, hope that answers Abhishek. We have another question. If domain knowledge is such a critical aspect, how can someone with no prior domain experience start their product management journey? Collaboration. Connect with the subject matter expertise. Brainstorming your idea with your team, with the set of subject matter expert. You may not be a technical or a subject matter expert, but the idea that you're carrying, validation of that idea can be done with the SMEs. There are few strategies and steps. It can be customer surveys, it can be market surveys, it can be existing surveys which have already been executed. Learning and researching them is also one of it. Once you decide that yes, kind of that you have to get into the product development or this design, that is when a set of different collaborative SMEs, you will take them at one place with 5 why framework or different approaches, brainstorm, and then start to initiate the project development and planning journey. Do we have any specific parameter which should keep in mind before changing? Yes, absolutely. There are multiple parameters basis what your product is related to. Is that a physical product? Is that a service product? Is that a SaaS product or PaaS or whatever it may be? Basis that oh, that's ICE. Oh, that's wonderful. Yes, there are different parameters and there are different standard checklist in order to change the product, and you will get a structured approach and breakdown how to effectively communicate go-to-market strategy to the client, how you will build the go-to-market strategy for any product for that matter, and then how to get rolling it out to the market without having a negative impact, because impact can be positive when you're changing the product. Obviously, when you go for an upgraded version of an iPhone, you are mentally prepared that if you are paying 100,000 bucks, now you have to pay 120,000 bucks or 150,000 bucks. Definitely an upgrade will cost you more is the concept. If you are into that mode of attitude, definitely you will leverage your product. I just skipped out one question. Engineering background but into sales. Also, does this help, or I need to do MBA for this? I don't think you need to do MBA even if you have an engineering background. I'll take my example. I'm from similar background. I don't have any sales certification as such, but enabled the market research, marketing connect, collaborations, and then also element of knowledge that I've got from PGCP or different other courses even before, which were related to marketing, have really helped me to shape how and when to collaborate with my marketing partners, my marketing leads, and then how to get the product and communication rolling out with the relevant team members. We have another question from Anand. I'm from energy domain, having 12 years of experience, launched 3 products with patents, but I'm in sales and marketing. Will other will accept me? I'm BTech. Will other domain will accept me? What domain are you willing to switch to, and at what position? Anand, that really matters. Like, if you have 3 patents, that in itself is a great portfolio. The first question that strikes to anyone from a leadership role will be, if you have great level of insight and in-depth knowledge into certain line of business where you have patents, which is a great achievement in yourself as such, or you want to switch, if that the scope, finding the right scope, I'll say the first preference should be. But if you made up the mind that you want to change the domain, then definitely there will be certain aspect on which you will be analyzed, evaluated, and there is a great scope for you to move into other domains as well. At start, you will need a lot of I'll say connect. You will need a lot of brushing up yourself, getting up to speed, because every single domain today is transforming every week, every day, every minute. There is a new technology evolving. Metaverse, which was not a mandate 5 years ago. Now we have a entire new firm. I'm a co-founder of a metaverse solution, and we are making a principal business. From SaaS, we have moved to metaverse as a principal product for certain organizations and startup. That's wonderful. That's wonderful, Anant. Like your products are already in practice in industry, and there needs to be a symbiotic approach, and definitely other domains will also accept your approach if that's making sense for them. But yes, the discussion should be there, and you should really collaborate to brainstorm whether it will make sense for other domains to see what are the symbiotic opportunities with different organizations and different modes. We have a question from Shilpi. If we want to work in the tech firms as a product manager, how much technology should we know? If you're, I'll take an example, relevant example. Now, you know that there is an opening going on for multiple platforms like Salesforce, they have opening. There is ServiceNow openings. Now, if you decide to go as a product manager to ServiceNow, they have multiple components. It is mandated that you should at least know out of 80 modules, at least 2 modules of Salesforce or ServiceNow you should be aware of, so that Salesforce or ServiceNow guys or the companies who are using it, they will be able to onboard you as a product manager. When you are learning the technical skills of any software, may it be compliance software, may it be a product software, may it be a software, physical product, any specific, the technology is 20 to 25% contributor in terms of core knowledge for a product manager, and the strategy, implementation and planning or deployment and understanding resources and communication is 80% part of it that you should be aware of or prepared for, I'll say. Just in mind, we are moving paperless era, but those who are not educated and not aware with the technology, then in my case, my product would be in risk in case of revenue. Abhishek, that is a valid comment, but what are the proportion that you're looking after? Because literacy rates are going higher, and people like our dads or their dads even today are using mobile. Most of the cases, I'm not saying 100%, but yeah, adaptation is increased is what point I would like to emphasize here. In that case, still you should be focusing on the revenue pool, the prospect size of the market that is available. The less technology competent scope can also be identified, learned, thought through, and designed in the deployment phase, is what I'll say. There are ways ideally. And when you get into the collaboration mode or forum mode, like evaluators, mentors, your peers, your batchmates, when you are with 100 plus intellectual mindset, just imagine what is the brainstorming force that will come through. There are co-founders forum where we brainstorm into. This creates a great level of venue and opportunity pool information for you free of cost. So that is the aspect that you can leverage as well. Yeah. So yeah, with this, then I guess we have answered all the questions and queries. If there are any question or queries, like participants, you can unmute and talk or ask the question. I see our hand which is raised. I'm not sure who have raised it. Yes, definitely it will help. Thank you so much for agreeing to the thought, Abhishek. And thank you everyone in the session for being attentive, responding and have been patient throughout the session. I really appreciate it. I guess we've already exceeded the time and no one have interrupted. I really appreciate that indeed. And if there is anything, I'm reachable on LinkedIn. This is my LinkedIn ID. I'm open for a friendly chat. And I am proud student of PGCP batch. I'll say that my BYOP matured with the product in 6 months, and I've seen that happening with the course. There were a few tweaks which happened. I was able to suggest the pointers. The team had constructively taken those pointers, and they are in the way to amend it. And I'll say that, yes, welcome to the board. Join the league, use the LMS, use the IIM facilities, use the Harvard studies, brainstorm, use the forum. This is the real, I'll say, more than content, resourcing, networking is the real deal, which I was looking for, and I really got it. The best part was the mentors, like not only my mentors, but I was able to cross connect with different mentors. They were evaluators, and we used to share our thoughts and excellent presentation reviews, critics. I'll say that I enjoyed the critics. I enjoyed the, they were not insulting me, honestly, but yeah, it was a lot of why you are getting into this mode, why you getting into that mode. That opened altogether a new insight and area. I wish you the same. Come from a employee standpoint or a co-founder standpoint or from a progression standpoint or from a company switching standpoint, this content and forum and era networking definitely will benefit you, is what I can say. This is my 2 cents. Yeah, and it is always constructive. See, there are also progression, there are also issues, but it all matters in your attitude. If you are willing to get the solution mindset, definitely there will be constructive session. Thank you once again. Thank you, Manoj. Thank you, Nikhar, Arun, Chandra, and Anant, and Abhishek. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Irshad, over to you.
No, thanks a lot, Sagar, for a wonderful session. I'm sure everybody had a lot of takeaways from here. There's one last question. Probably you can take it and then we can close the session.
Surely, yes. Do product manager need to have an AI ML skill? If you are planning for a SaaS or PaaS product, I'll say yes. AI and ML are required skills. Yes, you should have it. At least not from the deployment, but if there is a disruption that is coming your way, you will be well prepared with your product design then. Hope that answers, Raj. Okay, perfect.
Great. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining the session today. Have a good